Greetings duelists and welcome to another video. In the last video I covered an update to my Gem Knight strategy. I spoke about some flaws that the engine and the deck had in order to circumvent that. We tried to find it like a sole way to consistently keep our win condition while also providing cards that can support the strategy as a whole. In this video I'll be showcasing a duel just to put my theory to the test, see if there's any remote chance of everything that I put into theory being like remotely viable, and hypothesize what if there anything else that we can do to perfect this strategy moving forward. I think that we are still quite a ways to go. I think this is not even the end result of what it can happen with this deck. But yeah, I won't go too much into it. I'll just showcase the duel and then I'll give some closing thoughts. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin. I lost the rock, paper, scissors, shoot. My opponent, Homero, is going to make me go first, which is kind of unorthodox. So we're facing Swordsoul, and my opponent already has Ash Blossom, which is one of his lines of interruption. And I open Armadillo, Quartz, Brilliant Rose, and Motorbike. If you saw the last video, you pretty much already understand that this is almost like the full combo, the full Gem Knight combo. So let's see what happens here. I pitch the Motorbike, he lets it go through. I activate the Wakauchi, I activate the Benkei, he also lets that go through. And this is the first choke point of the deck. If he didn't let the bike resolve, pretty much what I would have done is normal Armadillo, activate Brilliant Rose, special summon, go to Quartz. But our turn probably would have ended if he ashed immediately the super heavy samurai cards. However, there is a merit into you not using your Ash Blossom in there. Like, you don't know what they're trying to go for when it comes to this strategy. If he let the bike go through and he made it into Wakauchi, but he stopped the Benkei, what we would have done is normal Armadillo and made Baguska and pass. Pretty much just letting our opponent try to play the game, and if he can't, then we try to play the game moving forward. But that didn't happen, so now we chain Wakauchi to the Blackguard, to the Rose Maiden. We summon, we add. Since we already have Quartz in our hand, well, I'm gonna Pendulum Summon for 3. This is in order to scout for other interruptions. Like if he has Valor, Imperm, he probably would have already used it on Armadillo. The last card we're trying to check is Nibiru. If he has Nibiru, he'll probably activate it right here on the spot, and he'll stop me from keep playing because I already have one card in hand. If he does not Nibiru, he's risking himself losing to Appaloosa. So right here, I do the Granite, he Ash Blossoms, and that's already one card that I know he doesn't have anymore. I fill the board with tokens, and at this rate, I think he doesn't have Appaloosa, because if he did, he probably already would have done it here, before I resolved the Quartz and the Scatter Fusion. That being said, I keep going and my opponent scoops. Pretty much what was gonna happen here is I pretty much had the FTK. It was already far ahead. My opponent pretty much saw what was happening. But now we go second. And since we're going second now, we have to see, can this deck play through my opponent's board? as you can see my opening hand, I actually opened non-engine cards. I opened Pancratops and I opened the triple tack. I also have Researcher and Scatter Fusion. If it resolves, is like a way to just play the game. And this is pretty much my win condition. This is the card I kind of want to resolve. So now what's happening is he's doing plays with these two. He has summons Taya. He resolves the long one. He makes Baxia. He summons Moye. He summons the long one. So right here, he drew an extra card out of the Kachin long one, and I tell him that this effect is a hard once per turn. He denies it, and I try to explain that in the card text it says only each effect is once per turn, meaning that when you see a line of text like this, you need to be very careful when having cards with long text, because sometimes what it means this is that every effect of the monster is once per turn. That is the draw effect, the banish effect for spell and traps, and the banish effect for monsters. Stay tuned, because in the future I will make a video speaking about card conjunctures. I think this is going to be very, very important, and I really would appreciate it if you guys see that video and like give me feedback on it, because I think it's something that is going to be very, very crucial for players that are like playing competitively in this game. So now he reveals that it was Droll, the card that he drew illegally. I summon Pancratops. I special summon. He does like Chijiao, and he never searched for Blackout, but I was trying to play around Blackout because I did not know if he had it. So now what's happening here? I summon. After Scatter Fusion. I'm surprised that he did not activate Cosmic Cyclone. That's something that I would have done. Another card that I'm surprised that he didn't use was Droll, but I guess it kind of makes sense since he had Nibiru. I pretty much let it go through. I let him play because now he has to deal with the Scatter Fusion for next turn. And not only that, I have Brilliant Crystal Rose in grave, and Crystal Rose is going to banish the Seraphinite, so I can dump a Gem Knight, and then I can keep doing my plays. However, he drew into Colby the Grave, and that's going to secure him the game. Adding to that, he's also going to summon Baron, and Baron contests with the Scatter Fusion. That's all without counting that he already had the Cosmic Cyclone to deal with the Scatter Fusion. So I banish, he attacks Colby, and that's the end of the game. So now we're going to game 3, and now we see that our opponent has Ghost Bell. He has Ghost Bell as his only interruption, and I opened the full combo again. I attack Bike into Wakaushi into Benkei, Benkei into Stealthy summons, I summon the Rose Maiden effect, grab the Garden, Fenrir, add, Garden effect, Garmadillo effect, and now I win the duel. Pretty much what I'm gonna be doing here is I'm going to be showcasing the rest of the combo while I speak. The Ghost Bell wasn't going to make a big difference because, as you can see, I summoned Appaloosa before I did the Gem Knight portion of the combo. And now we are off to the races. I summon Lazuli. I summon the Lady Brilliant Rose. I banish, I activate the Gem Knight Fusion. And another thing to note, I did not open Lapis, or didn't get access to Lapis, which means that I kind of have to summon Lapis Lazuli using Lady Brilliant Diamond as part of the FTK. The crucial part about this FTK is the Black Garden. because if you give your opponent enough monsters and you give yourself enough monsters, you can do the combo even if you don't have access to Lapis. But yeah, as far as this duel goes, I say this was a success. I think this proved that there is some merit into deck building with this strategy. And Swordsoul is, in my personal opinion, Swordsoul is like the benchmark of what can be played as a rogue deck. If your deck can beat Swordsoul, it's a deck that can be considered at least rogue in the category. If your deck cannot beat Swordsoul, that means your deck still has like a ways to go, because Swordsoul is super mid-range. It's a deck that can do like enough plays that can even make it so you can top events, but it's a deck that the ceiling is not higher than competitive decks that we have at the moment, at least in the top 3. However, it is a deck that can beat those, and it's also a deck that can also like face against other unorthodox matchups. But yeah, I'd say there's still a lot more to learn. I'd say that there's a lot more to this strategy than meets the eye. Not every game is going to end up like the way it did with the Swordsoul player, but I was just showcasing a duel. I thought it was very, very important because it kind of like puts to the test what do we have with the strategy, and whether or not deck building with a deck like this one like warranted was going to reward me or like punish me. I hope you found this video entertaining. I hope you found this informative. I hope this helped you in some way shape how you do deck building and how you test your decks. Expect more content out of Gem Knights maybe, or maybe another deck like the decks I'm currently playing. But yeah, that's it from me. Keep practicing and keep dueling.